Welcome back to Midday News. Continuing the news. Meteorologists are keeping a close watch on tropical storm Elsa, which gained strength early this morning in the Atlantic as it makes its way towards the Caribbean. It's now the fifth named storm of the 2021 hurricane season.
The current position of Elsa is 9.4 degrees north and 48.8 west. It's moving even faster than it was yesterday because it's now at 41 kilometers per hour. And we have wind speeds, maximum wind speeds of 65 kilometers per hour. So there has been some strengthening.
Tropical storm warnings are in place for the Central Caribbean.
We're expecting the system to be moving into the Caribbean area over the next few hours and then moving into the Central Caribbean on the weekend, passing very close to Jamaica on Sunday.
A woman who was trapped underneath a load of sand from a truck which overturned on a section of the Yallahs main road is receiving treatment in hospital. The incident happened in the vicinity of Caribbean Estate in St. Thomas last night. After digging for some time, she was rescued by firefighters.
It is believed that the truck swerved and to avoid a head-on collision with a taxi, and as a result it overturned. We want to implore drivers of this roadway to reduce speed and to be patient as work continues on this road.
The global economy could lose more than $2 trillion this year due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on tourism. According to a United Nations Conference on Trade and Development report, delays in vaccination in developing countries will continue to impact tourism figures.
The report, titled COVID-19 and Tourism, an Update, projects global tourism losses to be between 1.7 to 2.4 trillion US. It has plotted three possible scenarios. The first and most pessimistic is a 75% reduction in international tourist arrivals. This model is based on tourist reductions observed in 2020. If this comes to fruition, it projects a $948 billion drop in global tourism inflows. This would amount to a $2.4 trillion loss in real GDP. The other probability reflects a 63% reduction in international tourist arrivals. The third model considers varying rates of domestic and regional tourism in 2021. It assumes a 75% reduction in tourism in countries with low vaccination rates and a 37% decline in countries with relatively high vaccination rates. Currently, COVID-19 vaccination rates are uneven across countries, ranging from below 1% of the population in some countries to above 60% in others.
Representatives from the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, were in the hot seat at Tuesday's sitting of the Public Accounts Committee PAC meeting. The allocation and uses of monies from the fund were among the issues discussed.
While Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis indicated that most of the administrative issues pointed out in her department's report were being addressed, there was a lengthy discussion about the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. As the name suggests, the CDF provides funding to MPs for development and assistance within each constituency. Committee members questioned the authenticity of requests that were now before them, which highlighted the Auditor General's issue.
What is being highlighted here is not to say whether it is right or wrong, but to say that there's absolutely no criteria. And so you see inconsistencies among the beneficiaries.
The fund may be used for infrastructural development as well as aid and grants for constituency members. The report raised concern about a $670,000 payment to one person for education assistance in one constituency.
Having seen that come and having regard to the fact that amounts to about 12% of any maximum allocation, wouldn't that send our flags, red flags, for the CDF?
Remember that when MPs make a request from their approved allocation, those requests goes directly to the implementing agency, not to the CDF office. Hence, that is why we are reviewing the operational procedures to put in limits wherein one single beneficiary can get up to X amount or Y amount. The process is ongoing with the Ministry of Finance.
The Auditor General suggests that adjustments should be made to guide MPs and implementing agencies with disbursements.
And it's now time for the Business Minute. Here's Cody and Barrett.
In the world of business, Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited CPJ built its first full grocery store in St. Lucia. Co-chairman of CPJ, Thomas Tyler, says the decision was made after seeing growth in the country during the pandemic with one of its small distribution stores.
He expanded that store to 8,000 square feet, so we're a full grocery store now in St. Lucia, and that's been open for May and June. Those 2 months are full months, so that we got that done during COVID. So we built our first full-line grocery store in St. Lucia.
He was speaking during Mayberry's Investor Forum on Wednesday. Farmers in the Greater Bernard Lodge development in St. Catherine will soon benefit from a water retention pond, which is being constructed to hold 10 million gallons of irrigation water. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the revelation on Friday during a press conference. Approximately 1,300 acres of land is being reserved in the development for small and medium-sized farmers. Farmers in the area will also be supported with extension services and benefit from the integration of technology in their farming practices. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Cody Ann Barrett.
And we head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report. Renata Brown is standing by.
Welcome back. It's now time for your midday sports. I'm Renata Brown. Now, as reported by TVJ Sports on Wednesday, the British-born quartet of Michael Antonio, Kemar Roof, Jordan Cousins and Kevin Stewart have not been named in Jamaica's squad for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The JFF released the 23-man squad earlier today. Now, the squad reads Andre Blake, Dennis Taylor, Dylan Barnes, Liam Moore, Javan East, Corey Burke, Leon Bailey, Alphas Powell, O'Neill Fisher, Amari Bell, Bobby Reed, Tariq McGee, Blair Turgot, Damian Lowe, Lamar Walker, Michael Hector, Daniel Johnson, Ravel Morrison, Kemar Lawrence, Adrian Mariappa, Devon Williams, Shamar Nicholson, and Junior Flemings. In cricket, the West Indies will look to level their 5-match 2020 series against South Africa as both teams meet in Game 4 this afternoon at the Grenada National Stadium. After winning the opening game of the series by 8 wickets on Saturday, the Windies went down by 16 runs on Sunday, followed by a 1-run defeat on Tuesday. Should the South Africans manage to close out the series, it will be the first against the West Indies since 2010. The Windies are hoping to keep the series alive as a series victory would see them winning back-to-back T20 series for the first time since 2017, having beaten Sri Lanka. The match goes off at 1 o'clock Jamaica time. The fifth and final T20 is set for Saturday. And Jamaican Rashada Williams led with a bat on debut for the West Indies Women A, but it wasn't enough as they went down by 7 wickets to the Pakistan Women A in the first of 3 2020 games in Antigua on Wednesday. Williams top scored for the Caribbean team with 33, while Shakiba Ginabe made 20 not out. The Jamaican right-hander hit 2 fours in her 39-ball stay at the crease. She shared in a 31-run opening stand with Renice Boyce, who made 15 as the Windies women were restricted to 97 for 6. Amin Anwar and Rameem Shamim both claimed 2 wickets for Pakistan A. In reply, the visitors got to victory at 98 for 3 in 18.5 overs, with Aisha Zafar leading the way with an unbeaten 40. And now the Jamaica Football Federation on Wednesday clarified a statement made by President Michael Ricketts on Tuesday, which gave the impression that Jerome Waite's removal as assistant coach of the senior Reggae Boys team came on the heels of a request by head coach Theodore Tapper Whitmore. Hours after TVJ Sports reported that Whitmore had taken issue with the comments made by the president, the local governing body issued a press release noting the former World Cup star had nothing to do with the matter. The press release said, quote, "The JFF wishes to use this forum to categorically state that the decision regarding Coach Waite's reassignment was a decision of the Board of Directors, the only legitimate body that can take that decision, and that head coach Whitmore was not involved in the decision," end quote. Waite was relieved of his duties with the senior men's team on Tuesday following a board meeting of the JFF. TVJ Sports also understands that Whitmore had requested the appointment of an additional 2 assistant coaches, but not to replace Waite. And Barcelona President Joan Laporta says La Liga's financial fair play rules are holding up Lionel Messi signing a new deal with the club. Messi became a free agent for the first time in his professional career on Thursday as his €500 million contract with Barca expired at the stroke of midnight on July 1. La Liga President Javier Tebas has warned the Catalan club they must make cutbacks to be able to register a new Messi deal ahead of next season. Should Barca fail to reach an agreement with Messi, the 34-year-old who had asked to leave the club last season will be free to join another club with personal terms, the only hindrance to a deal. And finally, the Phoenix Suns reached the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993 after wrapping up the Western Conference Finals title against the Los Angeles Clippers last evening. They beat the Clippers 130-103 to secure a 4-2 series win. Chris Paul was the key figure for the Suns with 41 points, while Devin Booker added 22. 36-year-old Paul has been selected for 11 NBA All-Star teams and won 2 Olympic golds with the United States. But this is the first time the former Clipper has reached the finals after joining the Suns last year from Oklahoma City Thunder. And they will face either the Milwaukee Bucks or Atlanta Hawks in the best-of-7 championship final. That series is currently tied at 2-2 with Game 5 tonight at 7. And that's it for your Midday Sports Report. I'm Renardo Brown. It's back to you, Anthony.
All right. Thank you, Renardo. And just before we go, your take on Chris Paul's performance last night?
Big performance, and we've seen that throughout the series and throughout the championship so far. And at this stage, you're thinking Suns in 6, regardless of who gets to the final.
And let me ask you again, Bucks or the Hawks?
I'm going with the Hawks. Based on momentum.
I say the Bucks.
Just
all right?
a feeling.
I say the Bucks. All right. And that's the Midday News. I'm Anthony Lugg. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.